Robbie Wolfe, who is known for his role on the television show American Pickers, was seen working at his car business just a few days after the mournful departure of his dear buddy Fritz. On Monday, September 30, 2 years after having a stroke that rendered him unable to function normally, Frank passed away. On Wednesday, October 2, the United States Sun was able to capture exclusive first photographs of Robbie, who is 57 years old, at his vehicle shop, United Motors, located in Davenport, Iowa. It seemed as though Robbie was in a gloomy mood as he conversed with customers and acquaintances who had stopped by the shop. The entire day was spent by him working, as he was constantly coming and going from the store. During the course of the workday, Robbie donned a gray t-shirt, blue jeans, and a cap altogether. It was clear that he was feeling downhearted when he conversed with other customers at the shop. At a cost of $200,000, Robbie made the purchase of the commercial building in March of 2021. Additionally, the United States Sun was able to acquire first-ever photographs of Mike in La Claire, Iowa, which is just a few miles away from Robbie's store. Mike spent the most of the day working on finishing up renovations on his vacation rental property in Iowa, which is called 2 Lanes Guest House. This is Robbie's halo. The death was confirmed by Robbie Wolfe on his Instagram account. There was a photo of the lifelong friends, and he captioned it with the following: "It is with a heavy heart that I am sad to say that my friend Fritz passed away last night. You are all familiar with him from watching television, but I knew him from my time spent fishing, traveling, and by my family. My twin kids were blessed with him as their godfather. His charming grin was infectious, and his infectious laughter will be sorely missed. In the end, it was just time spent sitting on a fishing boat and having conversations about life. I have no doubt that you are in a better area. Love you, buddy. Hope you catch the big one. Until we see each other in heaven, hold the boat steady." By the year 2020, Robbie had taken over for Frank on American Pickers. His recovery from back surgery required him to take some time off. In the 77 days that he was away from the show, he checked himself into a rehabilitation center in Iowa for alcohol addiction. Mike and Frank had a disagreement because Mike had not been asked to return to the show. Frank was upset about this. "I haven't talked to Mike in 2 years," Frank had earlier stated in an interview with the United States Sun in the year 2021. "Despite the fact that he was aware that my back was infected, he did not call me to inquire about how I was doing. But that is the way things are. I have a feeling that Mike is trying to persuade his brother Robbie to take my place in the position. I am really perplexed as to why he is acting in such a manner toward me." Despite the fact that he had expressed his desire to come back to the series after his break, Mike revealed that he was officially terminated from his position in the year 2021. Immediately following Frank's stroke, the two were able to make amends. An emergency in Frank's health. In July of 2022, Frank experienced a stroke when he was at home in Iowa. Due to the fact that Frank was taken to the hospital for pneumonia and a seizure on 4 separate occasions in 2022 and 2023, he was unable to recover from the stroke that he had suffered. Additionally, in August of 2022, the close pals of the History Channel personality submitted paperwork to establish a conservatorship and guardianship for him. Additionally, Frank's buddy Chris Davis functioned as his guardian, and Midwestone Bank was responsible for acting as Frank's conservator. The documents that were obtained by the United States Sun stated that Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired as a result of his stroke that he is unable to care for his own safety or to provide for necessities such as food, shelter, clothing, or medical care, without which physical injury or illness may occur. According to the statement, Mr. Fritz's decision-making capacity is so impaired that he is unable to make, communicate, or carry out important decisions concerning his own financial affairs. During the time that Mr. Fritz is still recuperating and receiving treatment for his injuries, decisions need to be made regarding his care and placement. For the purpose of preventing immediate harm to him, it was determined that the appointment
After
of
suffering a
stroke,
and
Frank was
conservator
unable
was
to move
necessary.
while using a wheelchair. On the exterior of his farmhouse in Iowa, a ramp was constructed. However, he did not remain there for an extended period of time before returning to rehabilitation. A source had earlier stated to the United States Sun that although he is able to walk, he will always require the wheelchair because he is unable to walk for extended periods of time. "You basically lose motion," she said. His mobility was lost. Stroke can affect either the left or the right side of the body. In this case, it afflicted the right side. "He's the same old Frank," the source remarked at the time, despite the fact that the insider insisted that Frank had never lost his endearing demeanor. "He possesses a positive mindset as well as a wonderful sense of humor. The jokes that we tell are always funny. As a result of you making the most of the circumstances, he has come to terms with everything that has happened. He has a good understanding of things, he is a cheerful person, and he has a good sense of humor." Then, during the last few months of his life, Frank's condition deteriorated. According to a source who spoke with the United States Sun in the past, he has been bad ever since the stroke, and he had been getting worse. The right side of his body was completely immobile. The doctor said he needed attention around the clock. He was not going to get better under any circumstances. He was home at the time. According to the documents filed in the court, the conservator Midwestone sought that Frank's finances be handed to them in July of 2024. This was due to the fact that the celebrity required skilled and long-term nursing care at the time. A reminiscence of Frank. Chris Davis, who is also Frank's guardian and a close friend, disclosed funeral plans for Frank in an exclusive interview with the United States Sun. "It is planned that in the future there will be a celebration of life. It is going to be really significant. Fans are welcome to attend. There are already a number of bands that are interested in participating in it, including my own band. There is a good chance that this will take place in the spring." Chris continued by saying, "I will say that Frank loved his fans and that he passed away peacefully with friends by his side." Francis was a good friend of Chris's.